Okay, so for these graphs, they're asking you to write an equation, and what they gave you is 2 points. So that's super easy if you make a table and put it in stat. So what I want everybody to do right now is go through all of these problems front and back, and I need you to draw a table for it. So this point is negative 2, 4, so you would put negative 2, 4. And then 5, 4, so you would put 5, 4. All of them. If you have fractions like number 4, you need to turn those fractions into decimals first. So right here, it would be negative 3 and something. I need to change that to a decimal. And then negative 3 and something else again. Change that to a decimal. So you would put it in the calculator. 7 over 2 and negative 9 over 2. So 7 over 2, enter, is 3.5. And negative 9 over 2, enter, is a negative 4.5. Okay? The ones that are going to be a little bit weird are the mixed fraction ones, because I know you forgot from middle school, but like number 7, I know this is going to be 2 point something, okay? So we need to change that 1/2 to a decimal and then stick it at the end. I know this is going to be 3 point something, so we need to change that 1/2 again to a decimal and stick it on at the end. And then those zeros. So what is 1/2 in the calculator? It's 0.5. So this is easy, 2.5, and this is easy, 3.5. We're not going to do number 8. I just don't like how the answer comes out, so cross it out. But when we go to the back, I need you to go to the back, problem number, where is it at? No, maybe it's in the front. No, actually, that's it. So I need you to pause the video right now. I want you to make all the tables for all the numbers, and then we're going to show you how to put this in stat enter and get the equation. So I need you to pause the video right now. Okay, so hopefully you had enough time to draw out all your tables. We're going to go ahead and start with problem number 1. Here's the table that you should have written down. Okay, we're going to put that in stat enter in the calculator. So go to stat. Make sure that you cleared your calculator so that there's nothing on here but L1 and L2. And then you type your table in there. We have negative 2, enter, 5, enter. Go to the other side. We have 4, enter, and 4, enter. What do you notice about these 2 points? It's a straight line, but what do you notice about the points that I put on here in L1 and L2? Is there anything that stands out to you? The 4s are the same on the y, right? So the y's equal to 4, right? The 4s are the same here and here. That means y is 4 here, y is 4 here. What do you think the next numbers will be? They'll probably all be 4. Okay, so that's a good judgment. Now we're going to do stat. Arrow over to calc. Which number do you want to choose? 5, because that's what we did last time, right? 5, enter. What does that do to you? It gives you an error, okay? And it's always going to give you an error in stat calc 5. Go to stat. Go to stat, arrow over to calc again. Stat Calc 5 is only good if you have 3 or more points. 3 or more points. How many points do we have on this worksheet? 2. So I cannot use Stat Calc 5 for any of these problems. So which one do you think I'm going to be using now? Stat Calc 4, because it's a linear. It's a line. All of these are lines. So we're going to be doing Stat Calc 4 if you only have 2 points. Okay? 2 points. Stat Calc 4. 3 or more points. Stat Calc 5 from now on. So let's do Stat Calc 4. Enter. Okay? And let's write down that equation. 0 goes right here. So we have 0x, and the 4 goes right here. So we have y equals 0x plus 4. What happens to the 0x? It gets canceled. It's not a 1. It just gets canceled. And then it's just y equals 4 like we predicted. Okay? If one of those columns repeats, that's going to be the equation. Okay? For all of them. Let's do problem number 2 because those repeat as well. Problem number 2, okay, when I put this in my table, 3, 6, and 3, negative 1, what's repeating? The x's, right? The x's are all 3's. So I'm predicting that my equation is going to be x equals 3. That's what I'm predicting because my x's are always going to be 3. So we're going to put that in the calculator. Stat, enter. So I have 3, enter, 3, enter. On the other side, I have 6, enter, negative 1, enter. So we're going to go to Stat, arrow over to Calc, 4, enter. Stat, arrow over to Calc, 4, enter. Why do you think it gave you an error? Because the x's are repeating and this is not a function. I need you to go back and look at that worksheet. This is not a function. Look at my points. They're stacking, right? The calculator does not do non-function stuff. So do you see any other one that's not going to work? Problem number 4 is not going to work. Problem number 2 is not going to work. But the equation for problem number 2 is x equals 3. So what do you think the equation is for problem number 4? Write it down. Don't say it out loud. Okay? Those are vertical lines, and vertical lines will never work in the calculator. So you just need to memorize those equations and how to get them. Okay? Let's go do problem number 7. The only 2 that are not going to work are 2 and 4. The rest of them will work. So let's go do problem number 7. You already wrote down your table. Your table is 2.5. 3.5. And you have 0 and 0. So we put that in Stat Calc 4. Stat, enter. My numbers are 2.5, enter, 0, enter. And on the other side, I have 3.5, enter, and 0, enter. Stat, Calc, 4, enter. Okay, so let's write down that equation. I have y equals 1.4x plus 0. What's going to go away? The b, the 0, right? And what am I going to do with the 1.4? Turn it into a fraction. So I would write it down first, right? And then I would type it on here, 1.4 math enter, enter, and change it to your fraction. So that's y equals 7 over 5x is your equation. Problem number 10. Here's my table. Put it in stat. And remember, you can pause the video at any time, or you can fast forward if you already know how to do this. But the ones that I'm doing are a little confusing, so I really need you to watch how we're going to change these. Stat, calc, 4, enter. Okay, what do you notice about the A? Is there anything that you notice about the A? It's a decimal. What else? It's going to repeat. Do you notice where it starts repeating? You have 285714, 285714, and it's going to keep repeating. 285714, 285714, and I need you to notice that because when you put it in the calculator, you have to repeat it so that it can give you the correct fraction. So I'm going to write it down. I'm going to put y equals, everybody's writing, negative 0.28514. Put a line over it. That means it repeats x minus 1. And we're going to change that fraction, that decimal, to a fraction. So I'm going to type. Everybody's typing. Negative 0.28514. Wait, was there a 7? Clear. Stat, calc, 4, enter. The 7 is after the 5. 5714, repeating x minus 1. So type it in. Negative 0.28514, 2855714, 2855714. You're just repeating it, right? Do it 2 or 3 times. Math, enter, enter, and it will give you the fraction, the correct fraction. If you don't repeat it, it's probably not going to give it to you. So we have y equals negative 2/7 x minus 1 is the correct equation. Okay, so that's how you're going to do the rest of the problems. If you notice that it's repeating, you need to make sure that you repeat it all the way to the end and do math enter, enter, so that it can give you the correct equation. Go ahead and finish front and back, and then we can check your problems.